I'm totally outraged and actually in almost pain because of the horrendous way that the Palestinians are being treated, and specifically today attacked in Rafah after the Israelis have basically moved them all the way through Gaza, put them in Rafah, and now are attacking them. I'm really also absolutely outraged by the way that the international community is unable to do anything about it. And the whole system that was built after the Second World War to look after people, human rights and international humanitarian law, and setting up courts to try to make sure that there wasn't a genocide, has all proved itself absolutely worthless. I mean, it was amazing when South Africa put the case in, and I suppose I was one of those people who maybe was so foolish that I hoped that would mean a ceasefire.
I'm a Jewish, and we feel it's our obligation to come to stand up what's happening now in Gaza, this massacre, and there's no end to the words we can speak about it.
You see the images coming out of Rafah in the last, 12, 24 hours. It's, just when you think the situation can't get any worse for the people of Gaza, it just seems to get worse and worse. See the images of, children hanging from buildings after being blown to bits. It's just disgraceful. And to know that, the Israeli government is being backed to the hilt by the British government, the US government, we're still selling arms to Israel, we're still providing them with political cover. It's just disgraceful.
I am Irish, and in the occupied part of Ireland, when British soldiers, the civil rights movement in Ireland, which I belong to, we were attacked by soldiers and police. And it was only when the IRA started firing back at them that they stopped harassing the areas. And it's only when the Palestinians fire back at Israeli state terrorists that they'll be able to defend themselves. No, I don't want violence. I detest it. And I've campaigned all my life against war. But when people are attacked, they have to defend themselves. I believe in equality of arms, because American state terrorists and British state terrorists arm the apartheid state of Israel. So I believe that the Palestinians should be armed in order to defend themselves. That's the only way they can be defended.
The world's turning blindly supporting this so-called Israel, which is really the biggest enemy of us Jewish people. Supporting Israel, supporting Zionism is the worst thing one could do to the Jewish people anywhere, including in Israel itself, in the whole world. And this is a terrible massacre that's going on, because everyone knows you can't just defend yourself. As long as you're an aggressor, as long as you're an occupier, you can't play the card of being self-defense. This is a shame, and it's a disgrace for the whole world to see this what's going on now.
They should be calling a ceasefire. They should not be supporting Israel with weapons. Weapons should not be leaving this country to go out there to murder people, and they should be reinstating the aid to the Palestinian people, and basically not taking part in a genocide, which is what they're doing.
It's not just that they're standing there unable to do anything, they're actually helping. The government here sells arms to Israel.
How can you say you care for people when you are killing them directly with components for the weapons, like the fighter jets and so on? It's a disgrace. But then, is it a surprise? No, because the Conservatives and Labour are very, very pro-Israel, and Labour is more pro-Israel than the Conservatives. They say they care. It's a disgrace, shocking disgrace.
They should cease to supply arms, and they should press for an immediate ceasefire, because I was involved in the Irish peace process, and the successive British politicians were involved in it. And what happened in Ireland during the peace process, the first thing we had was a ceasefire. Then we had talks. Then we had a peace process, and then we had a Good Friday Agreement.
I think a Dutch court today ordered the ending of parts for fighter jets were being provided. I mean, there's fighter jet parts being made in Kent, I believe, by BAE Systems. I went to a picket there with a group called Works for Palestine, where we picketed and closed the factory for the day. But I think, the ICJ, the biggest court in the largest court or the highest court internationally, has said there's plausible case for a genocide. Our court should say we should stop the arms immediately until we find out what's going on. I mean, 13,000 dead children now. It's, what more is it going to take?
I believe that the United States and the British government who are both involved in the Irish peace process, should put pressure on Netanyahu, on Hamas, and on Abbas, on the Palestinian Authority, to have something like the Good Friday Agreement and stop all the violence and stop all the killing, because in Ireland now we haven't complete peace, but we have equality for both people, and we're all getting on together. And even a week ago, the two leaders from the two different communities are talking just like you and I are talking now, in a peaceful thing. And the United Kingdom and the United States should start something like the Good Friday Agreement. And why they don't, it baffles me.
I mean, we're in a very difficult position, aren't we? We're totally disenfranchised. We've got a system that has two parties, basically. It's very hard, because of the way that it works, to imagine that anything other than those two parties could possibly in power. We've got a government that is sort of crumbling, but is standing in the wrong side, basically, and just sort of parrots that Israel has no right to be doing wrong. And we have an opposition who is equally craven, and they are also standing there saying Israel has the right in the face of absolute evil.
They're going to lose a lot of votes this year, and rightly so. A lot of people are not going to vote for the Tories, are not going to vote for Labour, and absolutely rightly so. People are going to vote for independence, because that is the only way we're going to get change in this country, is to change in government.
We urge everyone, whoever's in power, people's problem is always people say words, when it comes to it, they don't do much, whether it's opposition or it doesn't. When people have to do it, the country has to stand up together. And if it's not together, in singularly, look at South Africa, done a tremendous work. South Africa stood up for justice and done whatever it can do, and it's not a superpower, but it's done whatever it can do. We urged the international community to carry on and putting pressure to save lives.
We know that both Labour and the Tories have given a large amount of political cover to the Israeli government to continue what they're doing. The Labour Party hasn't put up much resistance, but the Tories are, they very much support Israel. I think they're probably worried that this is going to cause a big crisis for them, but they're not prepared to use their relationship with the Israeli government to call for a ceasefire and to stop what's happening. It's just disgraceful.
How many times has Starmer flip-flopped on his policies? I mean, a few days ago it was the green budget, slashed it overnight. And it's the same with this. He knows he's going to lose votes, so he's trying to do damage limitation. Oh, I care for Gaza now. Yeah, at the same time he fired staff who called for a ceasefire. That says everything you need to know about Starmer and Israel. Anybody who tries to help Palestinians, I will fire you. And he wants people to vote for him. He's deluded. Why would anybody vote for Starmer, Labour, when they support Israel blatantly and openly? 1 minute he says one thing, and the next day something completely opposite, because he knows the country is angry that he's not calling for an immediate ceasefire, he's not calling for sanctions like he did with Ukraine, against Russia. So, yeah, we're here just to try and help people.
We are not hearing about what's going on out there, not unless you watch particular news channels. It's been censored. What's been fed to the British public is it's a lie, and we need to stand up.
I mean, it's really horrible to feel that there are people in this world who think that sort of behaviour to people is acceptable on any level. Pictures of people picking babies out of the rubble, pictures of kids with their limbs cut off and no parents and no family around them. It's just not right on any level, and it must stop. That's why I'm here.